Here's the approach I want to take. I think we have to take a different approach. You know, do you remember Einstein used to say, if you keep on doing the same thing over and over again and hoping for different results, that's the definition of insanity. And we have got to take a different approach here. And I'm not a politician. I'm a business person. I've been in business for 30 years. And frankly, I think this is an enormous advantage given the state that we see that California is in today. So here's the approach. I am a big believer in focus. Let's do 3 things at 100% as opposed to try to solve every problem or do 40 things at 10% each. Because I think if you go to Sacramento with too broad an agenda, you will be stymied at every turn by the legislature, by the incumbent interest, by the bureaucracy. So let's focus on 3 things and do it with every bit of fiber and energy and leadership that we have in our body. And here's the 3 things. Number 1 is jobs. We have got to create and keep jobs in California. If we do not put Californians back to work, I promise you there is no way out of this mess. I want to do that by streamlining regulation. I could talk more about that. I think we need to put a moratorium on all new regulations on day 1. Let's stop the madness. You know, small businesses and medium-sized businesses are just getting killed by regulation. I also want to put a moratorium on the implementation of AB 32. About the environment. Every Californian cares about the environment. It's one of the reasons we live here. But what I will tell you is AB 32 was put into place when we had an unemployment rate of 4.6%. Today we have an unemployment rate of 12.6%, and my view is we cannot afford to lose another job to a neighboring state that doesn't have anything like that regulation. So, number 1 is streamline regulation. Number 2, we have to cut taxes. Taxes are killing California. I want to look at some targeted tax cuts that can spur hiring right away. Things like eliminating the factory tax. Did you know California is one of only 3 states that as a manufacturer, you have to pay sales tax on the equipment you buy to manufacture in California. It's the best reason I know to go to a Nevada or an Arizona. So let's do things like that. Let's eliminate the $800 LLC fee that you have to pay to start your own business. The R&D tax credit to 20%, so it comports with federal levels, so we can keep our innovation engine going in different parts of the state. So, then, once we do that and cut government spending, and I'm going to tell you about that in a minute, then I want to do an across-the-board tax cut. But the truth is, we can't afford an across-the-board tax cut until we get people back to work and we cut government spending, then we can turbocharge our economy by an across-the-board tax cut. So first is jobs. Second is we do have to cut government spending. Trust me when I tell you, we do not have a revenue problem, we have a spending problem of epic proportions. Any of you who have worked in business would be appalled if you actually knew what went on in Sacramento. We have not utilized technology to do more with less. We have not streamlined the infrastructure of the state of California. We have not found the fraud in the administration of Medicare and Medi-Cal or in IHSS. We have not done a good job in welfare. Do you know that we have 12% of the population in the United States and 32% of the welfare cases? It's not the right thing for our communities, and it's not the right thing for the budget. And then last but not least, we have a little thing called the pension liability staring us in the face. The state of California has a $60 to $100 billion unfunded pension liability. If we do not solve this, this will in fact cause the state to run out of money. So we have got to get about this. And this is something I know a lot about. Anyone in business knows a lot about this. All of you in business, don't you every year, you look and you say, this is what I did last year. I have to do that 10% more efficiently so I can create the capacity to do new things next year. That's the discipline we need to apply in Sacramento. And I know how to do that. We can do this. We can cut $15 billion of savings out of this government, in my view, without cutting a single program. And we have to get about doing this, because the truth is, we have a government we can no longer afford. And then third is education. Since when is it okay to give the vast majority of California kids a subpar education? It's not. There are many fine public schools in California. Maybe some of your children or your grandchildren go to them, but the vast majority are not doing the job. They are not preparing our kids for a 21st century economy. So here's what I want to do. First is, I want to put more money, more authority, more accountability at the local level. We would never, yeah, thank you. Education was never designed to be run by Sacramento bureaucrats. It was designed to be run at the local school level. And the great thing about California is we have fabulous test scores, fabulous testing, and fabulous content. So we can hold the school boards and districts accountable for delivering the results if we give them more autonomy and allocate money on a per child or a per classroom basis, as opposed to this crazy categorical spending requirements that is run out of Sacramento. So that's the first thing. The other thing I want to do is, I think we actually spend enough money on our education system in California. I hate to see the government cuts that have been made because we can't get the rest of our state in order. But the truth is, we have to allocate more money to the classroom. If you think about the $50 billion we spend at the state level and another $20 billion that we get from the federal government, only 60% of that goes in classroom. 40% is on administration and overhead. If you ran a business with 40% overhead, you would be out of business. And of course, in the classroom is where the great teachers are. It's where the English immersion is. It's where the gifted students are. It's where the special needs kids are. Let's allocate money from administration and overhead into the classroom, and I think you would see pretty dramatic results almost right away. That will also allow us to pay the great teachers more. The gems of our education system are the great teachers. In fact, I think we have a teacher here. And all the research shows that if you've got a great teacher in the classroom, big class sizes, small class sizes, great facilities, not such great facilities, you win. So that's the plan. Jobs, spending, and education. It's not that other things aren't important, they are. But my view is, unless we fix these three things, it almost doesn't matter what else we do. So that's what I want to do. It will not be easy, and I will need each and every one of your help. You know, elections are won and lost by the grassroots. You know, in the end, when that absentee ballot comes out, you have to get people to pick up, to get that ballot, and to, oh, thank you. You have to get that ballot, you have to have people fill it out. You got to get people to the polls on election day. So I want to build one of the very best grassroots organizations that we have ever had, not only for the primary, but frankly, for the general election where it is going to be against Jerry Brown. Think about that for a second. Jerry Brown's already been governor 35 years ago. And frankly, if you trace a lot of the issues in the state of California back to their origins, it's actually Jerry Brown. It was not a great run the last time he was governor. So, I need each and every you to volunteer to help out this campaign. You can go to my website, www.megwhitman.com, and I'm proud to say it's a very good website. I actually know a little bit about that. And I have access to some of the very best talent in Silicon Valley. So please sign up for email alerts. We'll keep you informed in the campaign. You can volunteer to join any number of coalitions. In order to win in November, we have to build really 4 coalitions. One is we have to turn out Republicans like we have never turned out Republicans before. So I need grassroots Republican activists who can turn out the vote. Then we have to build 3 other coalitions to win in November. The first is 18 to 29-year-olds. And I see some 18 to 29-year-olds in the audience. I need you to help.